SandCity Sports in the building. Four Nations face off. Let's go around. Let's see where we're at. SandCity Sports is in the building. Looks like the IG. Yes. IG is good. Let's go around. Sometimes the Facebook needs a refresh. Four Nations face off. Live from Beantown. In the building. SandCity Sports. Okay. Let's see. Let me get right here. Okay. Yep. Twitter is good. Let's come on over. X this one out. Come on over to make sure. Very good. Can't forget the Twitch. Got to have those, what do they call it? Twitch muscles. Fast twitch. Got to have those. Carl Lewis, Ben Johnson, fast twitch. Shout out to 9.85, 30 for 30 classic. Okay, we're good across the board on our socials. What is going on, people? I am your host, the Cape Cod Kid, artist formerly known as Andre King. You know what time it is. We to the business, SandCity Sports. We rocking live. Four Nations face off live from Beantown, the Commonwealth in Boston. Hope folks got their tickets early. Tickets was going for 2 stacks once the anticipation for this game started to ramp up based on how the matchup in Montreal went. So far, I'm watching the game. Now, I got, again, hockey people, it's a game, right? Is it a hockey match? Is it a game? I'm going to call it a game. Hockey people, please jump in, correct me if you need to. But thus far, it's just been about hockey. You know, we know how the other matchup started. Okay, they couldn't get 10 seconds into the game before you already had 3 fisticuffs. Okay, before you already had 3 throwdowns. Okay, thus far, just about hockey. Canada on the board early, scored within the first 5 minutes. USA getting the goal late, last 5 minutes. So it's 1-1, and we're going to be tracking this following the action because it's a beautiful thing. You know, they're talking about the ratings through the roof. Shout out to ESPN, ESPN Plus, 30 for 30s, all that great stuff. Sports Century, you can get it there. So we have that match on, and we're going to be watching that through the conclusion. Then we'll slide over a big slate of N.B.A. games coming back from the All-Star game. And some notable and sad news in the association in terms of a shining star in Victor Wemby that's going to be shut down for the season. Health is first. Okay, the health is the wealth. So his health comes first. But doggone it, Wemby was ascending. So him being out, if anybody wants to get down on SandCity Sports, they're always welcome. And you're always welcome. Folks out there in television land, as they say, like, comment, subscribe, good, bad, or indifferent. I want to hear about it and know what is working, what is not working. This is my passion project, something that I'm thrilled to do. And we got, 4 nations face off. Prime and peak hockey. Interesting full disclosure, I make no bones about it. I'm not coming from the hockey tradition. I'm coming from the basketball tradition with a deep love of sports. So if I get something wrong or need correction on something, let me know. But I'm gonna tell you how I feel. I'm gonna tell you how I feel about it. All right, because I throw, you know what I mean, my socks on and my thermals on. I throw 1 and 2 and 3 layers on. What am I going? I go to the hockey matchup, the hockey games. I support it. Great sport. Fast, physical, overtime, all, love hockey, particularly playoff hockey, where anything can happen. But you gotta show respect. And if I don't know everything, I know something, but I don't know everything. So if there's something that folks see in terms of hockey that I need to correct, I'll most certainly do that. But we're rocking with you right now. It's intermission, hot. And by the way, let's make something clear. because I got family and friends that play hockey and were really good at hockey, and I respect it. But you know something that I was really good at? NHL 94. We're going to get that for you on the screen. You want to talk hockey? Okay. My New York Rangers and Messier, NHL 94. Hold on. Not 95, 94. 95 was good, but NHL 94. We're going to throw the, the old EA Sports. It's in the game. I was giving in the business in that NHL 94. And what? FIFA 95 on the Sega Genesis? What? It's going down. This in Boston. People are going bananas. What's the greatest bar in Boston, Massachusetts? People are going bananas right here in the Commonwealth. I'm glad. I'm thrilled. Hockey town. Let's get NHL for the people. NHL 94 is in the game. Come on now. Oh, what? Hold on. Let's get this up there for the people in terms. I don't know everything about hockey, okay, but I know something. And when it comes to that something, you don't want to see your boy on the sticks when it comes to NHL 94. You don't want to see your boy on the sticks when it comes to NHL 94. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem, folks. Okay, playing with my what? Playing with my New York Rangers over here against the. I was getting down in some NHL. I was learning my hockey. So, don't know everything, but I know the triple deke. Okay, I know that triple deke. Hold on, and I know that quack. I know Mighty Ducks. I know that. Okay, got to learn some other things, but Four Nations face off intermission right now. But we doing throwbacks. We doing NHL 94, Sega Genesis, Wonder Years, and it was everybody was on that NHL. Now it doesn't matter who you are, okay. And if you would really get a good, you would get that big hit, knock somebody out. Not that you want anybody knocked out. By the way, I don't mind, because again, I let you know you can get it. But number 27 on the Rangers was like a cheat code. It's like a cheat code. They had Messi, who was crazy, but if you brought 27 off the bench, I think, if we resume this game, if we can get back to the game, you see 27 was out there. Don't even know who that jumped. See, that's Messi. Messier. But 27 for the Rangers was just, woo. I remember we would do a season. What's up with my connection? Come on. All right, the connection is strong. Hold on. We good on our socials? Everything is good? All right, everything is good across the board. Don't mess with my connection now. Right, we got a little bit of snow that came in. A little bit of snow. Folks in the garden are enjoying it. It's the first intermission. Learning the hockey culture. You're going for intermission. The Zamboni's got to go around. You take, it's like they have 2 halftimes during the course of a hockey game. I talk with people that I know that play hockey. And again, shout out. Yeah, we got one person rocking with us. I appreciate you. SandCity Sports 1, 2, buckle me with us. What it is. You see the goal, let go. But talking with hockey people, they're saying, what I've learned, the Zamboni, shout out to the Zamboni, goes around that, to start in hockey, like the beginning of the, that fresh ice, that's when everything is, you want to score the goal, so on and forth. But, let be known, as a hockey quarter goes on, all the skating and cutting, and the ice, it's a little bit choppy out there. It's not as smooth as, you get down to the end, just because people have been, so the contours of the game change literally. You go from playing essentially on turf, to playing, on like rugged, grass over the course of one period. Ice is, fresh, and you're flying out there, and then mid quarter, and then certainly the later quarter, you got to deal with a little bit of chop, which is one of the things that I learned. Okay, so we'll get to the Four Nations face-off. SandCity Sports, we're in the building on a Thursday night check-in. And so while the hockey is on hold, um, we have to discuss what's going on in the NBA. Obviously, there's plenty going on, but number one, Shams put it out there this afternoon. I was looking for it, but I couldn't. I didn't believe. Frankly, I couldn't. It wasn't trending. But Victor Wembanyama, the all-world player for the San Antonio Spurs, who just brought in De'Aaron Fox, and in my view, we're about to make a move to get into playing to make some noise. Stephon Castle is that dude, So they had their three play, and so this, it's so unfortunate that he has a blood clot. Excuse me, I believe it was a thrombosis in his right shoulder. Spurs rightfully not taking any chances. I'm going to shut him down for the season and make sure that he is 1,000% healthy and ready to go. But, you know, Wemby, year two, all-star, deserving. He's on that Tim Duncan trajectory. Yeah. Didn't have the same situation as Tim Duncan in terms of starting your career with an all-time great. Granted, later on in their journey, but still an all-time great. And under the capable leadership of Greg Popovich. Popovich is still around. He's a coach emeritus, not there day to day on the sidelines. So that's a loss. But Wemby, he was tracking in that generational conversation. No two ways about it. Granted, he could have made the All-Star team if they would have let him cut loose last year. But they were just, you know, only gonna play him this amount of minutes, and we're gonna take it slow and yada. So this year they let him go out there and do his thing, and you know, and I haven't gotten over the fact that I got the number one pick in my fantasy sports league, which I ended up having to give away because of a bet based on hubris, which is excessive pride. I'm still not, my therapist said I can talk about it a little bit. I can't go too deep into it because, what I mean. You give up Wemby changes, what I mean. And there was some talk before the season, and I was confident I was going to make the playoffs. But then I attached my flag to, the James Hardens and the Bradley Beals and folks that have not shown up to work and didn't show up to work. So I was confident I was going to make the playoffs. So I made this bet, and I think he challenged me. My team is good. And then injuries hit, and I didn't make the playoffs. So I had to give up my number one pick. And then there's a lottery for, the bottom three teams. So I could have got the third pick. I could have got the second pick. But I ended up getting the first pick, which I had to give away. I don't got, my fantasy on the basketball side. Okay, as we get ready for the second half of the Four Nations Cup, USA Canada 1-1 live from the Boston Garden, and we will be keeping up with this. But yeah, over the fantasy, lost Wemby, generational. Not that you would ever, you know what I mean. It's just I kicked myself. Bad deal. Ended up getting the number one pick last year. Picked up KD, Kevin Durant, who's doing well. Even though the Suns aren't doing well, KD's doing well. My fantasy team is hanging in there. But yeah, we'll finish this. Just start of the second period. It's 1-1. And they're keeping it to the ice right now. Playing for pride. Playing, for the love of the game. This, the eyes of the sports world are kind of focused on this, which is great. Hockey's a great game. Deserve the love. Tradition going back. Gordie Howe, Bobby Orr, Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, so on and forth. Got to learn the newer, more recent stars. I remember the stars from my childhood and then the formative years. The earlier years in the game. Certainly can't miss Bobby Orr being here in the Commonwealth. And so we will be keeping track of this 1-1 early second. But it's just deflating, really, for the league. And just like for basketball people, Wembanyama, who has been tapped as a face of the N.B.A. and something that, he's shown that he can step into that role and fill it. I think Anthony Edwards is right there personally, but Wemby, he this is a guy that, he has the common touch, right? Has the he's not too big or for anybody. We'll get it for you on the screen. He's out there, willing to go ahead and, you know, said he was gonna pull up and play some, right? Wemby's a man of the people. It was a rainy day in NYC, and he put it out there. Wemby likes to play chess, and obviously, we're going to search for Bobby Fischer. Great movie. He said, "Yo, pull up." You know what I mean? I'm in NYC. Anybody wants to get down and play some? I'm here. Holla at me. And so he fulfilled that. It's raining outside, but he got out there. So it just goes. He's a generational talent player. I kind of compare him. He has that Kareem in him, right? Just in terms of he is transcending the dimensions of the game. Giannis is another player that I put in that type of category of a Kareem. Now, neither one of them has dominated yet. Like Kareem, Giannis has had some MVPs, and Giannis is closer. He's older, so he's closer. But go back, and I was watching a little bit of a Kareem documentary the other night, which was great. Just looking at Power Memorial out of NYC, the years at UCLA, the early years with the Bucks, then going over to the Lakers, where most people took notice of Kareem, and he was just dominant straight throughout. Sky hook, unstoppable, all-time leading scorer until LeBron recently broke that mark. But that's Wemby. He now granted it's different because he doesn't have the 3 national championships, right? It's a different generation, and Kareem not being able to. Shout out to Wemby, shout out to Chess, shout out to searching for Bobby Fischer. Okay. Couple minutes into the second, 1-1 USA and Canada, and they're battling in Boston, keeping it to the ice, not too much. And I don't necessarily, now that they're just playing, this might just be for the love of the game, which I think would be best for everybody, right? Got all that stuff out of the way, and now let's just have a good, healthy competition. Okay? That's my view. Now, again, hockey people, if it has to come to that, it is what it is. But I would not mind if it was just a great matchup and the better team, that being the USA, came out victorious. All right. So 4 minutes, second period, 4 nations final, and they're battling. Canada threatening. No. And we just keep it moving and grooving. So Wembanyama out for the season. Folks have said Antonio Daniels, who does a solid job in terms of San Antonio Spurs coverage, pointed out this has nothing to do with capture the flag, which I thought was capture. I thought that was quite a statement. And when we say capture the flag, of course, we're talking about a one Mr. Cooper flag, Duke Blue Devil, who has that team competing, as well as some of the other talent that they have. They got some stout. Their freshman class is off the charts, and the freshman class is going to be off the charts next year with the Boozer brothers. Shout out to John Shire, who's not complaining. You know what I mean? With this whole NIL, he's making it happen. Okay, but no cap to the flag in San Antonio. They've already got their number one transcendent generational player in Wemby. They don't need another number 1 pick, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm glad that he put that out there. That's not what this is about. And of course, you don't play around with a blood clot. You don't play around with something that affects your circular system. Okay, clearly, I didn't even. I'm glad that he kind of hammered that home, but you don't even think about something like that, frankly. Okay. Um, but on the subject of Cooper Flag, and I've noted there's teams that he should not go to, as far as I'm concerned. Top of the list, the Utah Jazz, who should be much better. And Danny Ainge, what the heck are you doing? Top of the list, the Washington Wizards, dumpster fire. Get your house in order. You don't deserve a generational player like Cooper Flag. Portland Trailblazers, who have a boatload of number one, top draft picks, Clinigan, Henderson, Shaden Sharp. They're a young team. They should be much better, right? Charlotte Hornets, no. You got to show me something, okay? I think Cooper Flag would be great in Toronto. And another team, kind of looking at how things are going, Philadelphia 76ers are getting smacked on the road because they can't be in Boston because the Four Nations Final is in Boston by the Boston Celtics tonight. I think the Sixers would be a good landing spot for Cooper Flag. Yeah. City of the brotherly love, right? Constitutional city. Cooper's from the Northeast. He's from Maine. The North. Sixers. Okay? And bring in Flag and get rid of Embiid. All right? That's run its course. It's when the folks in the fantasy league trying to put together deals, talking about you can have Embiid, who? Street clothes? Embiid? No. Twitter fingers? Embiid? I don't think so. All right, all of this work that was done, bringing in Paul George to be your running mate and then just punting on the season. I think it's time to start building around Maxey in Philly. PG, you're there. Great. But it's run its course. It has nothing to do with Nick Nurse, in my view. Nick Nurse is a capable coach. Is an NBA champion coach. And Daryl Morey certainly knows his business. Daryl Morey was at the forefront of this analytics revolution, doing innovative things, using NBA 2K and right. So the front office for Philly is stout. What's not stout is their max contract player, who has never been healthy, and all this talk about, and we'll talk, we'll get into Luka, okay, and now we were starting to, all right, no love lost between the Canadians and USA. As we go to commercial break. Again, hockey, what they say. I went to a fight in a hockey match broke out. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's 1-1. It's going to be a close matchup. Maybe it was wishful thinking, that it would just be about scoring goals, but maybe even more so. And that's the thing, right? Because you have to, and this is something where hockey people, would be able to, right? If somebody picks a fight with me, do we both get penalties? Right? I think it should be, and me not being from the hockey tradition, that the person that picks the fight gets a penalty. There should be some distinction, should be. Who knows what it is? But that's something, right? Because if it's down the stretch and you're trying to win and this other individual is trying to fight, now, obviously, if somebody's throwing haymakers at you, then you're going to defend yourself. But by defending yourself, do you deserve to end up in the penalty box and put your team at a disadvantage? Now, again, it's both of you, but no, I'm defending myself. This person is trying to get down. I got to handle business. Give him the 1-2 with the special, you know what I mean? With a little bit of special sauce to get him up off me. Now, they can go to the penalty box, and we can come back and be about the business of winning. So that's something that's going to factor in down the stretch. Do you just take both people off the ice, or, is it the first person to throw down their gloves? Are they definitely getting the penalty? Or is it a situation where the first person throws down their gloves? Okay, they're in the penalty box, guaranteed. But if the other person does not So I notice, like, when the refs step in, they generally just like, it's over. I don't see a lot of people punching through or over the refs, which I imagine is a very serious penalty, and rightfully so. Like, when the refs come in, it's done. So that's, it's going to be close. And the fighting down the stretch that may or may not, we got about just under 14 minutes. So plenty of time in the second quarter. Love the fact that hockey games are an hour. We're gonna play. We're gonna we're gonna give the people a show tonight. You understand what I'm saying? We're giving the people what they came to see. Love that. 4 hours worth of competition. You know what I mean? We're getting down tonight. Okay, N.B.A. talking about, okay, a little danger in Team USA's. Okay, but they're moving. They kept it moving. All right, and so a little bit of a, it's just a battle, back and forth. Canada, Finland, Sweden, and the United States. 4 nations face off. Shout out to the Scandinavian countries, right? Up there, the Northern Lights. Certain parts of the year, close to 24 hours of darkness. Other parts of the year, close to 24 hours of sunlight. And I saw that the Canadians, the last 2 Winter Olympics, Canadians have taken the crown. So just a little bit, Team USA is in a situation of, let's get this dub, particularly, on home soil right here in the Commonwealth. Let's go ahead and get this and reset that clock, internationally. Let's get a championship for the red, white, and blue. But Canadians have it in the zone. Team USA defending. Doesn't seem to be a power play. I imagine they would put that out there. And now the Americans are advancing. Okay, so we're going to keep an eye on this. 4 nations face off, locked at 1. Some shots. Make it 2, folks. USA! 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 Okay, folks. And the crowd goes, why? I know that I have some people that I know. Not that I know everybody, but I know people. I don't know everybody, but I know some people. I know that people that I know on Facebook are at this game. It just has to be. You see people, take their kids, go to the Celtics game, go to a Bruins game, so on and forth. But there's no way that, it's right down Route 3, an hour's drive. That people, that somebody in, my friend network or network or friend of a friend is not at this matchup. USA up 2-1. Let's go ahead and get that next goal. Let's go ahead and put a little bit of distance. Let's get, USA won the first one 4-1. So, okay. Now, also, shout out to, you know what I mean? I know things are going on politically. That's all good. Okay. I love my Canadians. Shout out to Masai Ujiri, Toronto. Okay. Love Canadians. Okay. We ain't going to dive, Drake out there in Toronto. Shout out. We ain't done, you know what I mean? Kendrick out in Compton. Shout out to you too. Okay. We going to keep it even balanced over here. But, I'm USA all the way, clearly. But I feel like this is a great matchup because if you're Canada, like, you invented the sport. So, you know what I mean? Like, we have to win this. Okay. Can't. Now, obviously, the NHL is predominantly played in America. Or it's more teams in America than in Canada. Just population centers, so on and forth. But I there's that other kind of component. Like if I'm Canada, you know what I mean? Like what? It's almost like basketball for, basketball. Like Springfield, Massachusetts. We can lose in basketball, but it's a personal thing when you lose to whatever ascending nation, France, Serbia, whoever. It kind of like this is our game. we this is our gift, to the civilizations of the world. We have to win. So I imagine that's at root as well. And something what we have to say about hockey. And I love, I like we got Levy, we got PK Subban, we got people. So Canada's got a power play for 2 minutes. USA's got to get rid of this power play. It's funny. It has to. A lot of times in hockey, like you just go for people that aren't ingrained in the sport. The fighting just looms. It just takes you time to process the whole fighting component, which it's a part of the game. But bottom line, the skill of hockey, these guys, and just the fluidity on skates, how they just move so effortlessly, and what it takes to score. Hockey, the strategy behind it, it's a really cool game. You talk about, well, it's expensive, okay, all of that stuff, fine, good and well. You go back being from the Cape and you talk to people, we have our, what's called the Hyannis Youth and Community Center, which used to be called the Kennedy skating rink. And you go back like generations. I didn't realize here in the Cape, like the skating rink used to be outside. And that is, you used to just play hockey outside. Hockey games, matches were, the rink was outside. There were no inside. We're playing hockey. Okay. See you at the rink. January, February, it's freezing, like below zero. And we're out, and we're going to play some hockey today. So, you know what I mean? You think, we think, and there's no thinking about it. It's true. Okay, let me see if I can get that for you on the screen. When the rink was outside. But, okay, Canada's threatening. Save. About 30 more seconds on this power play. Team USA locking it down. What we got here? Get it out the zone. I know that much. 20 seconds on the power play. Okay, USA got control. Moving it. Okay, so they're going to get rid of this power play. Ooh! Shot on goal. 10 more seconds. Close. 8 seconds to go on the power play. We see the folks that's with us on the check-in. Like, comment, subscribe. I can see the chat. I appreciate my folks. Appreciate my people that's with me on Instagram. We're talking Four Nations Final live from Boston. Appreciate those that are with us on the Facebook. A couple people that is with us. A couple people that are, let me get my grammar right, are with us. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how you feel. And the power play is over. Both teams at full strength. We are under 10 minutes in the second quarter. We got some, and it's physical out there. And it's a great matchup. USA. Home team all the way. Home nation. Right in Boston. And it's a beautiful thing. But what I was just articulating, man, is hockey. It's a beautiful sport, Skating, you gotta trip, guy putting people on the, folks falling out, all the different ways that guys score, putting the puck on their, it's the skill is off the charts. And then of course, it's a physical game. They're out, got pads on, and people are out there, throwing their weight around. It has all of the different components. It's a freedom of movement sport. But then also it's a collision sport. It's an interesting, like, football is a collision sport, and all these things that we're doing to make the game safe, sure, but it's a collision sport. Starting with the line, the other games, like most other sports, basketball, lacrosse, two sports that I officiate, soccer, are freedom of movement sports, meaning, you know, there's contact, but that individual space that you have is protected. Hockey's a little bit distinctive in that you can check in hockey. Lacrosse as well, checking in lacrosse. Um, but and this is one of the things I learned just officiating lacrosse, is that they are, and rightfully so, just in terms of long-term health and safety, they're doing everything they can to take the big hits out of the game and just to be more um, mindful, right, of those major collisions, which is that's where you have concussions, and we didn't really think about it that like that. And I'm dating myself. I'm not the oldest, and I'm not the youngest anymore. I'm kind of in that middle age phase. But the point of fact is, when it was a big hit, it used to just be rub some dirt on it and get back out there. Whereas now we recognize those big hits, when you're woozy, you're concussed. You don't need to just get back out there, because that's when you can have them. Those stat concussions is where you really put yourself in danger, right? It's not the first; it's the stat concussions, which is where there's long-term danger. So no, don't just rub some dirt in it and get back out there. And I'll tell you guys, anybody, and again, let me know, folks, what you think. Is this too much, too little, whatever the case may be? I appreciate those that's rocking with me. A couple people on the IG. We're over on across the board on our different platforms. So let me know what you think. Good, bad, or indifferent. But in terms of lacrosse, just a story that was told, um, that kind of brought this home. When I don't officiate lacrosse anymore. I wish I did. Great sport. But he said, listen, so they were practicing. It wasn't a game, it was a practice. And, the cross, like the crossball, it has a little bit more. It's like, you know what I mean? It's not a baseball, but it's not a tennis ball. It's in the middle. It's not as hard as a baseball. It's not as soft as a tennis ball. It's in the middle. Okay, it's got a little bit of, a little volume to it. Okay, and so they were having a lacrosse practice, and the kid, have their helmet on, and the kid threw the ball, and he hit the kid in the back of the head, and just kind of knocked him to the ground. It's a practice, mind you, right? Parents at the game watching. Parent happened to be a doctor. So the kids are out there practicing, kid get knocked down, goes and he's like, oh man. And, gets back up and his coach is like, you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm good, coach. Kid, he's like, you all right? You okay? I'm good. And so the parent comes out onto the field and he's like, I'm gonna take him. And the kid's like, no, I'm good. And his mom's a doctor. He's like, no, we're gonna take him to get checked up. I'm good. No, you're getting checked out. Takes him, gets him checked out, does a CAT scan, and he had a fracture, in his skull based on, and what happened is they changed the composition of the lacrosse balls they were finding, because like again it's wound differently. Like a cross ball will bounce, like a baseball is not gonna, it'll skip, but it's not gonna, the cross ball. And what they found is that these lacrosse balls, you just put them in the, put them in the, garage, and we'll get ready when it's time, for lacrosse season. The composition of the lacrosse ball, it was becoming more like a baseball. It was getting harder, more dense. So they changed composition of the lacrosse ball, I remember. And they started to say, the big hits in lacrosse, the big, like in football, like the football, some of the things I can't stand is like the blindside hits have no time. I don't care who you are, if the blindside hits, get them out of the game. They should have been out of the game a long time ago. I'm just ironclad on that. We can talk about, the drop hip tackle. I didn't, hip drop tackle. I didn't have as big a problem with that, frankly. It's it's just a form of tackling. You can, okay, Canada threatening 7 minutes. They got it. USA trying to keep them at bay. But back to football and, just the sports, freedom of movement. The huge, collision style, right? Kickoff style hits. I think every sport is saying we can do without those. we're good. We are good without those. Let's see what folks are saying. Okay. And good. We'll see. Folks might check in with us for the end of the Four Nations final. Again, we got 7.5 minutes left. USA is up 2-1. Scored that go-ahead goal in the second. And it's back and forth, live from Boston Garden. Competition, no fisticuffs, but we will see how this plays out. Be a huge win for USA. As I said, Canada has taken the last 2 Winter Olympics. They've kind of established themselves in international competition. So this would be a good one for USA to get going into the next Winter Olympics. Boston Garden, packed, standing room only. I know that there's some people, like as I said, that I know, and then there's a couple people that might have just taken the money and run. Okay, once the attention and sensation started to build up, $2,000 a ticket, standing room only for this. So, is do I cash in? Do I have to be there? You balance that out, but I know that there's certain people that just had to be there and are enjoying this. And if it was me, goodness, this is I might just, this is a big deal. I can, coming from, just sports, it's a big deal. So you want to be there. It's right in your backyard. So I might have been inclined to just pass up on the payday and have the once in a lifetime experience. All right. And so we will continue on with the Four Nations as it progresses. Talked a little bit about Wemby, N.B.A. Let's discuss Bobby Portis' situation, folks. Quarter 25 game suspension for performance enhancing drugs, which Milwaukee is right in that second tier in the Eastern Conference. Let's see if we can get this for you on the screen as we go into this storyline. So this hurts the Bucks because he was important. He was an important player for them, and the Bucks, yeah. Yeah, this hurts. Doc Rivers has gotten the Milwaukee, gotten the ship in order. They are right there. They're not the Cavaliers. They are not this. Oh, goodness. I took my attention away. It's all nodded at 2. All nodded at 2, folks. Canadians on the board. 6 minutes to go in the second. Imagine if this game goes to overtime. Wild. Man, how did you change possessions? Bennett. Kicks it over to him. I'm telling you. And we'll come back to Bobby Portis in a second. But hockey, the grace and how, it's frankly underappreciated. Just watching the game and seeing, it's like, man, that was incredible. And we talk about the different sports, a big hit in football, alley-oop or whatever in basketball. But it's it's magical. So would have liked to see Team USA get that go-ahead goal, give himself some cushion. Instead, the Canadians tie it up, knotted at 2. And hey, let's not fall behind. Let's get that next goal to keep pace. But this it's a battle. First game after the brouhaha, Team USA won 4-1. Kind of seem to have the game in hand. This one looks like it's gonna be nip and tuck all the way down to the wire. Um, and so good. Let it go down to the wire. So long as Team USA comes out victorious. You understand what I'm saying? All right. We're gonna talk a little bit. I want to, um, again, speaking of hockey, Canada, so on and forth. Anybody? We got to talk about Into the Win. We'll come back to Bobby Portis in a second. But when I think Canada, great project. Got any videos? Hold on. It's not a put Into the Win, and it gave me a. Okay, so while we're at a commercial break, 2-2 USA, Canada. Let's talk about, when I respect that I have for the game of hockey, but we can't have this conversation talking about the two nations and not talk about Into the Win. All right, great project. Executive producer Steve Nash. Come on now. All about. Let me just get this. Hold on. And I'm over here. Let me just get my situation in order first. Into the Win. Hold on. For Canada threatening again. Okay, the action is fast and furious. Going to make an executive decision. We're going to come back to Into the Win, talk a little bit about Terry Fox, okay, and just Canadian sports culture. Man that went down in history, decided to run across Canada after he was diagnosed with bone cancer. Let me get it right. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about Bobby Portis and in his suspension. Canadians out here, they woo. Last 5 minutes, they're threatening. They seeming to control the ice, seem to have the momentum. I'm seeing some Boston Bruins, right, which is kind of cool, playing for Team Canada. On their quote unquote home ice, but Four Nations Cup, so they're competing for Canada, But hey, to me, it's all love. Now, again, you got to get the W, and these things go back, so on and forth. But I feel like the players themselves have that mentality as well, as much as make sure everything's where it needs to be. As much as they battle, kind of go back and forth. I feel like it's all love. They'll shake up at the end of it. Kind of move forward. I mean, right? These guys are your teammates at the end of the day. You're playing for your home country, which for pride. But then, next week you'll be suiting up for the Bruins, and you'll be competing with these other guys. So that's something I continue to come back to in hockey. We battle it out. We put up the dukes, literally, and then it's over. Go to the locker room, rest, shower up, then go out to have some dinner. Get a good meal, spend some time, all in a day's work. That is, now maybe hockey people can give me some insight. That's not always how it works. I imagine it's not. Some of these things do carry over, but by and large, it seems that there is a mutual respect. And guys do, have the appreciation for the game and their teammates. There's that camaraderie. There's that sense of having been in the arena, right? Not the critic, not the person on the outside. SandCity Sports, we are commenting, but we are not. Okay, I am not. You can't take that away from people, right? It distinguishes you. And I feel like in hockey, that sentiment just is consistent from player to player. It's just a widespread feeling amongst hockey players, where when the battle is over, it's over, and we respect each other, and just move forward together. That's my view. Got just under 4 minutes, so a lot of time. Canadians have kind of taken back the momentum in the second quarter. They've gotten the goal, and they're seeming to have the advantage in time of possession. They seem to be keeping the pressure on the US of A. Maybe fatigue is a factor. We'll see. But just over 3. And again, the Canadians, good check there at 3-minute mark by USA. And USA here having an opportunity. We shall see. Okay, folks. 4 Nations final. USA, Canada, live from Boston Garden. 2:52 to go. And USA all the way. Good stick. No penalty. Good clean hit. We get up. We move forward. All right. So you can keep an eye on this. We're going to talk, speaking of northern regions, we're going to talk Milwaukee Bucks, look into the Bobby Portis situation. We will be talking about Terry Fox and 30 for 30 into the win. The check-in continues fast and furious. Shout out to NHL 94, which we spoke about at the beginning of this pod. And this again, I've said it. I'm seeing it in terms of the beauty of the game of hockey. We got 2 minutes to go, just over in the second quarter. We have a whole nother 20 more minutes of this, and it's just action-packed. It's a battle. Team USA player Bradley, can't pronounce his last name, has leading with 19 checks. So folks is out there laying down the wood. Canada is continuing to, they're keeping Team USA on their heels, so to speak. I would like to see more USA. The Canadians are keeping the pressure on. I think Team USA is just trying to get out of this second period. All tied up. Maybe they can break through and get some reverse. Okay, they're coming. Doesn't seem that way. It seems that we seem to be continually going back into United States zone. And we just got to get through this last minute. My feeling. Just got to get through this last minute and get into the locker room and rest up. Got to get some rest. Because again, we'll talk about Terry Fox, but if I'm Canada, these Canadians, and I got no love for them today in terms of getting this dub, but we feel some type of a way. This is our game. This is so we got a good shot on goal by USA. 42 seconds to go. Second period. And hey, it's 1 second, 1 minute at a time. But this looks like it's going to be fast and furious, straight through this last 42 seconds in the second, and then straight through the third. I'm looking forward to it. Great opportunity for Team USA at home to get this victory. Okay, we're going to look at college as well. We're seeing, some changes and innovations off of those changes. What am I talking about? More and more programs are canceling their spring game. Texas and USC, okay, some of the big kahunas, all right, are canceling their spring games. This was something that Matt Rule started at Nebraska. I don't agree with it. I don't think it's good for college football. Spring games are, like, you talk about the totality of football, and again, football's played in the late summer, through the early winter. But it being the number one sport in the nation, NFL and college, like, it clearly goes year round in terms of all the different, spring games, 7-on-7, flag football, on and on and on. And it's not, so the spring games matter. All right, it's the end of the second period. 2-2. USA's gotta get rested and come back. Okay. Canadians kind of turned up on them. So we gotta, get the, your home feel that home ice. I know the Garden is rocking. Okay, so let the that 6-man, so to speak, that we would say in the basketball tradition, kind of give you, that extra, that dig deep and go ahead and get it done. But if that was a boxing round, it would be that would go to the Canadians. Okay, they got back. USA scored. They came back and scored, and then they forced the tempo, pushed the tempo. This looks like that's Mark Messier. I know Mark Messier when I see him doing the coverage, which is awesome. Okay, PK Subban Levy. So watching the intermission. It's not halftime. It's intermission. And we will get back to the third period. It's going to be rock'em sock'em. So, folks, as I was alluding to, and then we're going to kind of come back. We're going to do into the win first. Then we'll talk about Bobby Portis. But something we will be talking about after the hockey match finishes up. Might have to switch over to some NBA action because there's a ton of NBA games going on. See what's going on in the association. It's not good. It's not a good thing that we're losing the spring games. Yes, we, as in everybody. Spring games, it's good for the, people show up. Thousands and thousands of people are showing up to these things. So it's a revenue generator. It's an interest generator. And it's just a good thing. But this is a part of the whole Wild West NIL transfer portal. What Matt Rule, and he appears to be, he's right. You see these other major, is that the spring games were basically a recruitment tool to get more money for these players to bounce. That's where we're at in college athletics. If we can, which is not a good thing. Okay, I'm all for players getting their money. I'm all for a spreading of the wealth, and right. We're talking about a multi-billion. You want to talk about $50,000? Like, even if it's $200,000, $50,000 a year, $200,000 scholarship. That is chi-chi beans, pennies, compared to my worth. My meaning these, your headlining players. Okay. In terms of what my value is to this organization. That's why AJ DeBanza, I know it's basketball, we're talking about football. That's why he got $7 and $8 million. Frankly, he deserves closer to 10. I said it. Because BYU is going to be front page the entirety of the year. We talked about, Cam Newton, all the stress for 100, that we're talking about less than $500,000 that Cam Newton had to endure all of that. And Auburn won the national championship. We're talking about $100,000, hundreds of millions of dollars. Fact check me on this, folks. Hundreds of millions of dollars is what poured into Auburn based on that natty, dependent on Cam Newton. and he had to be dragged to the coals for $100,000 and change? Are you kidding me? Are you serious? When his worth, his market value, they won that natty with Cam. Have you heard from Auburn since Cam? No, you haven't. Okay, there was that they ran back the kickoff. I know people in Bama don't like to talk about this, but it's true. People in Alabama remember what I'm talking about when Auburn ran back the kickoff and won that game, and it was bananas. Okay, but that's it. And this man has to worry about $100,000. No, these college players deserve all of their money. However, there has to be, the transfer portal is too much. Get your money and stay, right? The two together is not good. So players, get your money, but the transfer portal, it has to be, you got to sit out for a year. That has to come back. I'm saying that has to come back. So you get all, or are we sign a 2-year deal, or a 1-year revolving deal, right? If we get rid of the transfer portal and say, you're gonna have to sit out the year, which I think needs to happen, then I think players, these NIL deals should be 2 years, right? In fairness. Hold on a second. Now that wouldn't make sense because, okay, I got an NIL deal, but then no, it's still a 1-year deal. But we got to kind of work that, right? So we got a 1-year deal, and then you don't want to go back. I just feel there has to be, we got to, and there's certainly all the lawyers that are, we can figure this out. But it's ridiculous that we're not playing college sports. College football are not playing spring games, which matter, which are important. The new jacks, the youngins, the youths that are coming in, right? A lot of these top tier high school phenoms, will graduate they graduate the first semester after the football season. They'll graduate, and then they'll be enrolled for the spring semester, and then they'll play in the spring game, right? The Arch Manning, even though Arch didn't do this, but that class of athletes. So it's important for the incoming freshmen that are going to contribute. And now I know you can just do other things, but no, the actual game itself. And it's crazy also to think that just not playing the game is going to, just because, so you don't see them in the spring game, but that doesn't mean you don't know who this player is. So, that doesn't necessarily, it's not going to necessarily solve any of this movement, right? Okay, so we don't play the spring game, but we know that this, you have all these 5-star guys that we're going to be targeting. Anyway. And everybody's talking to everybody else all the time anyway. Okay? Which, fine, get your money. But get your, it's just too much, we can't have, right? Free agency. It's more, that's the thing I'm saying. It's more than free agency. Because in the N.B.A., right, even though you might try to force, I want out of my deal and yada, yada, but you signed a 4-year deal. So you're under contract for 4 years. The two things together in college athletics are not good. These 1-year contracts and the transfer portal is not good. And so Charlie Baker, who is a serviceable, more than serviceable, who was a quality, who was a solid, who was a good governor, right? Dare I say, very good for the Commonwealth, who's now running the NCAA. Charlie, we need you to step in on this. Okay, now, Canada. Willis is, what's going on? We have a situation. Willis is letting it be known. If Willis continues, I'm going to have to step off this. You can hear Willis in the background. If it continues, I'm going to have to check that out real quick and come back to this pod. Because Willis don't play around. Sometimes it'll just be somebody out there doing, you know what I mean? But if it continues, I'm going to check on what the heck is going on. It's cold outside. But Willis ain't playing. It might just be people are, taking a break. I know there's a lot of folks watching. All right. Yeah, USA is going to get the dub tonight, folks. Ain't no two ways about that. But, right, Canada, hockey, what it means, right? Don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. Check out Into the Wind about Terry Fox. Okay, this man who set out to, yes, walk across Canada after being diagnosed with bone cancer, right? Losing his leg. And he says, "This is how I'm going to respond. It's how I'm going to respond to this adversity." And shout out to Steve Nash, right, Canadian, for bringing this project to light. And so God, I didn't know anything about this. Um, right, and it's just, yeah, this is right. This is what we're doing. This is how we're going to respond to a tragic situation. I am going to raise awareness. I believe Ezra Holland did Requiem for the Big East as well, which was awesome. And I touch on this into the win. Um, as SandCity Sports, Four Nations final, live from Boston. Team USA all the way, about to get this dub. I touch on this only to recognize like what this means. This Four Nations final, right? It's again, I'm not coming from the hockey tradition, but Steve Nash, what was impressed upon me, like when you say Terry Fox in Canada, it's tough. Is that like like he's a national hero, and just coast to coast. And I feel like, right, as I said, like Canada has as much, that's the energy they're bringing into this game. They're bringing Terry Fox level energy to get this dub, and Team USA, we're bringing 1980s Miracle on Ice energy into this game to be victorious. But it's a beautiful thing. I said it a lot. I don't mind saying it a lot because, right? So we got into the win energy tonight in Boston at the Garden. In the second period ended fast and furious. I mean, I need we need to get, first of all, just we need to get the W's. We need to get the W. We need to get the W. But it'd be great for Team USA, obviously, to get that first strike first. Sometimes, like when you go behind, particularly when you're at home, and that silence can be, a tremendous weight on you. So it'd be great for USA to kind of strike first. But yeah, we could always come back. We could always come back, um, and get the victory. Uh, but we shall see. That was Into the Wind. Um, Terry Fox, Steve Nash project. Just kind of giving. I mean, that's how I'm seeing. I'm seeing this. This is Canada feels some type of a way. USA feels some type of a way. There's only going to be one winner. Um, Good competition and physical. No punches. Well, you see, no punches pulled in hockey that but no holds barred, so to speak. And it's been great. I love to see, again, I can't wait to see all the people, my people, that were there live and in person. Okay, so during intermission, I'm sorry, just going across, and we live on the Facebook on a Thursday on the IG. I appreciate the folks on IG that checked in with me for a time. Respect, Twitter, Twitch. We're across the board, on our socials. Again, hockey have 2 halftimes, aka intermissions, to come in and sit down, rest, get your equipment in order. While the Zamboni is going around and they get back out there, and it's going to be It's going to be an action-packed um, third quarter, no doubt. USA, let's get the job done. Okay, folks. So we talked about Wemby. We need to get into the situation with Bobby Portis. No, 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 no. Okay. Bobby Portis going out, being suspended for 25 games, which is essentially the end of the season, for violating the NBA's anti-doping policy. You know, this hurts the Bucks, who gave away everything in the kitchen sink to get Dame. Gave away Drew Holiday and a lot of assets to get Dame. So that depleted their bench. So he was kind of a stalwart. And now, so this kind of, Kyle Kuzma, that was a big addition for them. But now because you're just basically Kyle Kuzma is taking Bobby Portis's spot as that, that scoring, versatile forward. Now, Portis will be back as we go into the playoffs. But, will the Milwaukee Bucks be able to maintain that fourth seed, right? Or they drop down possibly into the play-in and make their journey that much more perilous. They got Andre Jackson, who didn't necessarily do what he could have done in the dunk contest. So they got some young guns that are there that can, have that will have an opportunity to fill the void. Respect. But I hear Willis out there kind of. We got to see, check on the situation outside. Got a little bit of snow here in New England. Brick cold. 28 degrees. Not too much snow. But if Willis keep going on, something's going on out there. I got to go out there and take a look. But Willis has his eye on it. We're gonna get out after this episode, move around a bit. Gotta get a picture. I said I gotta get a picture of Willis for you. I think I showed you guys Willis. We got Willis on the screen the other episode. So Willis is a Malinois canine, the Shepherd Lab mix. He's keeping an eye on things. He had a big old bone that he was chomping on. And we're gonna get him moving and grooving. But look, folks, Bobby Portis. Here's the thing: when it comes to my view, in terms of his situation, and I didn't know, and this was I don't buy any of that. Bottom line is this: if you are an all-star, if you are an all NBA guy in the NBA and just across the board, then you can say that I didn't know stuff, and you can get essentially a mulligan when it comes to doping. Everybody else, and even I feel no, you get caught, you're going out, and I respect the NBA is spot on. 25 games. Okay. There needs to be a firm and hard line when it comes to this, based on the NBA cannot have any connection or suspicion when it comes to drugs. And right now we're talking about performance enhancing drugs, but those that know the game, conversation in the NBA used to just be about recreational drugs. Okay. And NBA players just not being able to regulate themselves. That was the conversation in the NBA since time immemorial. Okay. And so you look at Bobby Portis, it's apples and oranges, yes. But the firm line, and we don't even think about it that way. Like, you don't even think about NBA players as the third period gets ready to get underway. It's crazy. Hockey, it's like a halftime, but then they right back out there. So, it's like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then they are just, okay, third period, rocking with you. And it's on like Unicron. USA. Okay. Let's come back fresh and let's get on the board first, USA. Let's get it going. Let's get that first one, and then let's get that buffer zone. Let's get it cracking. Okay. Listen. So those two things, before we come back, we'll talk, as hockey, we're going to talk a little bit about Michael Ray Richardson. We're going to talk a little about the ship be sinking. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But crack them. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That if you're coming from the Italianissimo, you get that the back of your head, right? That what are you talking about? Shut your mouth. Whatever tradition. You need to feel it a little bit. Not a little 10 game, 5 game, arbit. No. Now you're going out for a third of the season, essentially. Get up and out of here. All right, because again, performance enhancing. It gives you an edge. Shout out to 9.85 30 for 30 classic. Get that for you, about Ben Johnson and Carl Lewis. Check that out. And the N.B.A, I think, obviously I think it because it's not really good grammar. It's not communicating well. The fact of the matter is, the role players are going to be the ones to be made an example of. Okay, so it's a good policy. The policy, as in life, we have to get used to it. What goes up a pyramid and what comes down the pyramid, have to get you. That's just life. Okay, the star players and the influential individuals, they're not going to get those stiff sentences, that harsh punishment. That's just okay. But you need to, and then that's a whole nother conversation about good for the goose, good for the gander. Okay, so there does need to be penalties for the stars, just like everybody else. Not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is twofold. I respect the firm stance, and then in real time, folks, if you're not an all-star, if you're not a max player, all right, you're in the crosshairs when it comes to this. So this whole, well, you know what I mean? That's what we all want to say. And doggone it, Team USA, you got to start getting attack mode. Canada is pressing y'all too much. Let's get some Team USA, man. I feel like Canada now, they starting to, if this is football, they starting to move the rock a little bit. They starting to put, they're starting to, what we say in football. So Bobby Portis, okay, be ready for the playoffs. You're not taking my Knicks out. Don't even think that. Knicks, you know what I mean? But they're dangerous. Doc's got them running. Doc's got, I respect Doc and how this team, okay? And you ain't gonna do nothing with my Knickerbockers. You ain't doing nothing with my go New York, go. Don't even think. But hey, okay. So hope other players learn. Even the star players, you shouldn't be messing around with anything. Performance enhancing, nobody. But respect the policy, respect the follow through, respect. Or the thing is, we have to maintain the integrity of the game. Right, that's kind of a misnomer, right? Because I just said there's a double standard between stars and role players. Now I'm talking about integrity of the game. But when I say integrity of the game relative to the N.B.A., it's that let's not ever forget. This is a whole nother sidebar, in terms of the whole load management and prima donna nonsense we have going on. But the N.B.A. used to be the Wild West. And, maybe the Last Dance kind of, I'm dating myself, but 70s and 80s N.B.A., wild. That's what was cool, seeing the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar documentary and Larry Bird documentary, both outstanding. Wild on the court. Like, talk about hockey and fighting. N.B.A., they used to be fighting all the time like it was hockey. Dr. J and, Larry Bird coming up early on. Like, fighting used to, in N.B.A., which is a good sidebar, as, USA, get this Four Nations championship. Let's go ahead and get it. In Boston, third quarter. It's a period. Third period, not a quarter. Third period. Sorry, it's hockey. But let's get it, folks. But they you know what I mean? Robert Parrish stealing on Kevin Bill Lambier and not even being kicked out of the game. Straight stole on him, just punched him. And the rest were like, common foul. We got to get that for you on the screen. I can't speak on that and not show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, we're going to get that for you on the screen so people can understand. 2-2. Wow, already 5 minutes gone in the third period. This is coming down to it. Come on, USA. Come on, USA. Folks, let's hold on. This happened in the middle of a game. Hold on. You just go from playing basketball to just clubbing somebody. Like, I'm playing basketball. No, I'm not playing basketball. The Chief. All right. Hard to watch that again, frankly. We're going to watch it again. We're going to watch that again. As USA doing a better job, threatening. Okay, so this is flat out just dangerous. Hockey, basketball, the angle, dangerous and wrong. Okay, but this was retaliation for but still, this is the Coliseum. That's not basketball. It's not safe. It's not basketball. Now, you want to just jump in and say, seeing this in and of itself, that this is unnecessary. But, we talk about this, and how this happened. Like, nobody's throwing, like the referee doesn't even like come over to him. He's like, the Chief is just sitting there chilling. Right? What are we doing? Like what I'm seeing, okay. USA doing a better job in the zone. Close, almost. Canada coming back. USA still. So USA is doing. Are we doing okay? Starting off this third much better. Okay, what does this have to do with the Four Nations final? Right? What's the connecting point? The Chief. Shout out to the Chief, Robert Parrish. And how is this connected to Bobby Portis, who is also like Bobby Portis? If Bobby Portis played in the 80s, he would have been like Robert Parrish, an enforcer. Right? A Charles Oakley type of, you know what I mean? We can talk and talk, but then eventually I'm gonna lay my hands on you. I'm gonna put these heavy hands on you eventually. Okay? You get to that point, you're talking and talking and talking. Woo! Off the pole. So this third period is rock'em sock'em right now. It's good to see. Let's go, USA. Get on the board. Let's get on the board, USA. But the connection to Bobby Portis is, that's the N.B.A. that we can never go back to. And Bill Laimbeer and the bad boys should have never been allowed to do what they were doing to the Celtics, to the, obviously the Jordan rules, that, right? It took some leadership. Jerry Colangelo coming in, right? Because this is the 80s. We didn't necessarily have freedom of movement in the NBA until like the mid to late 90s. Jerry Colangelo coming in and rightfully, and I didn't agree with this, getting the hand check out of the game. Derek Harper, right? Used to be you could hand check. You could essentially just hold that offensive play. Like, you could just hold them. Right? And that was legal. The hand check was, it's legal. Right? And they go to move one way, and you can just hold them. Oh, now we wouldn't even it's crazy to us. We don't even think about the game in that capacity. Completely transforms the game, being able to do that. Offensive player, you're just essentially holding them, right? You can just hold them. It's a hold, is what it is. But that was a part of the physicality. I mean, it's crazy. It's not as bad as I'm making it out to be. It's not like you can literally like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Where what I mean. That Shu Yen, she just held. We'll get that for you. Shu Yen just held old girl in a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. We're gonna have to get that for you on the screen. I mean, great movie. That Lee Mubai, that Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Just hold him. But you know what I mean. It was physical. There was a physicality, and frankly, a lot too soft. A lot too soft in terms of the game. A lot. But back, the connection to Bobby Portis. It took time to get the brawling out of the NBA. Okay, we want to talk, hockey and NBA. You got just fighting. Now, as much as that's not, you would rather see, a team run a tremendous set, space, pace, pass it here, pass it there, scheme up a three, draw, you know what I mean? You would rather see a beautiful, fluid possession, with 8 passes and all sort of movement culminating with a dunk or a skip for a rhythm jump shot. That's what you would rather see. Okay? Shout out to my people that's tuned in. Jump in the chat, like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate you. We got, wow, this third period is moving. Just over 12 minutes left. Third period, Four Nations Finals, live from Beantown, 2-2, USA, Canada for the championship. USA all the way. Okay? And we are just tracking this. USA has kind of taken back. They've come out in this third period with momentum, with energy, with vigor, so on and forth. And they're pushing the tempo. They're forcing the action. Hope that, you know what I mean? We want to see that continue and just keep the pressure on them. Okay, the Canadians kind of second half of the second period, they were okay. Now the USA is on them, keeping it in the Canadian zone. They threatening now. Okay, good. Get it out. All right, face off coming. Okay, but the concluding point, Bobby Portis, right? This N.B.A. We don't even the anti doping, right? It's serious. Abide by it. Just we don't even have a conception of NBA players being caught with recreational drugs because it doesn't happen and hasn't happened in so long. Never mind how our perspective on cannabis has changed. But that's what the NBA used to be known for. And we also don't have much of a conception of just the brawling, raucous, fist throwing, elbow swinging NBA of old that you just saw with Parrish and Kevin McHale. And again, I know it's been some years, right? I'm dating myself. It's been decades, but that model. Not that we could still. I mean, you could obviously still get anywhere that you go on the slippery slope, and who knows where you'll end up. But just parallel those two styles of basketball. And as much as we decry the lack of defensive intensity and the propensity, the number of 3-point shots that folks are taking, right? Relatively speaking, and that is an issue. Still, how the game is played aesthetically, we do need more defense, but much more interesting, exciting, engaging. I go much as an overstatement, folks. That's an overstatement. But not having the brawling, knocking guys out of the air, and just what was just considered normal is a big step in the right direction. The culture, the tenor, the tone of the game. Okay. Obviously the Chief clotheslining and elbowing and hitting Lambeer like that is far out extreme. And you can go, the Kurt Rambis, where he got clothesline, out of the air. And that was a common foul. Okay. Tip your hat to the NBA. Rules did need to be revised to understand that that current, you're out of here for that game and some other game. That's clearly a flagrant foul, and folks have to go. Can go back and look. Didn't that might have been called a flagrant foul at the time. Have to go back and look. Just saw that Kurt Rambis was getting clothesline and then people squaring up. So stay away from, if you're not sure, NBA players, and I know you got to come back from injuries and all the rest of this stuff, and but if you don't know, just don't put yourself in that position. And the other thing that we have to say, I'll come back from, there's 12 coaches on a team now, at least 8. Every team has at least 8 coaches. You got 1 head coach and then 7 other assistants. Okay, talk about I didn't know this, I didn't know that. First of all, there's somebody that you could ask. Second of all, the amount of care within the rules that you have access to as a professional athlete is astronomical. Cold tub, cryo chamber, all sorts of vitamins, massage. So let's just factor that in as well, which is another one of my arguments against the load management nonsense. And how my body and all these games and flying on private jets. You kidding me? You seen these luxury jets? It's like they sit on the bench. It's like you're sitting in a cloud. They got the bench and they got cushions on top of the bench. Then LeBron, you know what I mean? You got the bench cushions on top of the bench, and then you got cushions on. You're sitting on padded cushion chairs. Then you got cushions on top of the cushions that you have, and you're complaining about, playing in a game that's nowhere near as physical as it used to be. Stop it. Just stop it. Right? It makes no sense. Okay, finally, the statistics have come out in terms of load management. There's no statistical difference. I'm glad that study finally concluded. I could just tell you, eye test, people that load management the most are the least healthy, i.e. Kawhi Leonard. He's got to be the poster child for it. Joel Embiid. Okay, Kawhi and Joel are distinctive. I will say that because I feel like they have degenerative conditions. Like there's a degenerative condition with Kawhi's knee. Embiid's had knee issues since he was at Kansas. Okay, but the others that have taken, the Ben Simmons of the world, there's nothing wrong with Ben Simmons. All right, he's with the Clippers now, and maybe they'll be able to get through to him. Who knows? Okay, but there's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with him physically. He's a physical specimen. Okay, and just super duper sensitive. Right? If anybody can get through to him, it's going to be Ty Lue and the Clippers organization. Shout out to Sean Fine, pride of Barnstable, Massachusetts, director of player development for the Clippers. So, no. Right? I don't buy that, I got to come back. And you have so many resources, opportunities. No. You don't need to do any of this performance-enhancing stuff. Guaranteed contracts, N.B.A., no. Okay? Got the hammer dropped on you. Good. Be ready for the playoffs to help the Bucks. You're not going to have any, maybe you can extend it to 6 games against my Knicks. Everybody else, who knows what you can do, but not against my New York Knicks. Knicks are going to get you up out of there. Okay? But the other teams in the East, Boston, you're going to get you up out of there. Cleveland, I got to put respect on their name under Kenny Atkinson. But the Bucks can win a first-round series and then challenge a team in the second round. My New York Knicks will be in the conference finals. That's tough for me to say because that means – that's not tough for me to say because I'm my New York Knicks, so they're going to be in the conference finals. But Boston, I feel like it's tough. They're going to have to go through Boston, which is – I wanted Boston and the Knicks to meet in the conference finals, not in the divisional round. USA putting the pressure on them, 9 minutes, which is a lifetime, but a much better showing in terms of keeping the puck out of their zone, keeping the pressure on the Canadian goalie, looking for the go-ahead goal. Hockey is down to the last second. So that's another thing about the game is you go right down to they'll pull the goalie and go all in. But USA in this third period, they bringing it. I like to see it. Overtime is 5-on-5, 20-minute periods. Okay. Oh, boy. So this is awesome. The energy in hockey, so respect it. Appreciate it. Let's go. Folks, I haven't, you know what I mean? We rocking. Hey, I don't know if you've seen. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jordan Fisher annual alumni game. Okay. Much love. Jordan Fisher first annual alumni memorial game. Proud to wear this. Jordan Fisher, one of our basketball players here on the Cayman Islands, who passed away in a wrong way motor vehicle crash in 2016. And there was a memorial game that took place in Harwich that was just a great event, and we remember Jay Fish. We remember Craig Diggs. We remember Jordan Galvin Jutras, three of our sons of Cape Cod. Okay, so just recognize and represent, and just lift them up. Great kids. I had a chance to teach and referee these young men as they were coming up through the ranks, and they were all quality gentlemen that were on their way to success. So Jordan Fisher, this is Jordan Fisher's event to remember and lift his name up. There's a golf tournament for Craig Diggs and Jordan Galvin Jutras. Possibly in the future a softball event, but we remember our boys, best and brightest. They were just dynamic gentlemen, contributed on the field, off the field, on the court, off the court. Just wonderful, wonderful young men. Okay, so I wanted to recognize this. Third period, folks. Just over 6 minutes. USA has been strong throughout this period. We need to get one. We need to get one past the goalie. I think if we can get the, we don't know, and I appreciate those that's rocking with us as we are here, SandCity Sports, doing the Four Nations final. 6 minutes to go, tied 2-2, right in Boston. Thrilled to have this game in the Commonwealth. I know I got some of my people that's at the game in, person at the Garden. But let's get it, Team USA, threatening. Let's dominate this third period. If it has to go to overtime, it has to go to overtime. But let's get it. Get this victory. Talked about it. Canada, hockey originated in Canada, so they feeling some type of a way. We feeling some type of a way. Can only be one champion. It has to be Team USA. 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 So let's go. Let's go. Wow, this third period is just, man. I don't know if there's just been no penalties or it doesn't seem like there's been a penalty. Seems like it's just been straight hockey, just guys just flying around. So let's go. Let's get the dub. Let's get the victory. But we'll keep 5 minutes to go. Canadians in control. They're going to they're coming up the ice, getting organized. They're trying to, can the USA retaking possession? Yes. I feel like USA has just been dominant in the time of possession. You don't take nothing for granted. Canadians threatening. USA got it in control. Okay. And they're moving back up the ice. I see my people that's rocking with us. SandCity Sports, I appreciate you. Ooh, we got 2 people on the wow, some chats. What's going on? What are people saying in the chat? I see people in the chat saying, okay, it's 11. It's actually 10:50. What's going on? I see you in the chat. Have to do it. Four Nations final. USA. We got to do it, folks. But I see people in the chat. Appreciate you tuning in to SandCity Sports. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit late, but not too late. It's not that late, especially when the USA is about to get a victory. We got to stay up for this. We take power naps for this, folks. You understand? So we're here. We're going through 5 minutes left in the regulation. 5 minutes left in the regulation. If it goes to OTA, that's what it is. That's what it is. We're gonna be with you straight through the finale. So I appreciate the people on YouTube. Appreciate folks on the Facebook. Appreciate people on IG. It's a Thursday night. Hockey is leading the way. A lot of NBA action to get to. We're gonna switch beats and go to an NBA game after the Four Nations finishes. We're gonna be with you, SandCity Sports, over 2 hours, 2 and change. It might be 3. I don't know. I got things to do. You got things to do. It is what it is. But we might just power through the 2 and go to the 3-hour mark, just based on what's going on in the world of sports. And then we got some life stuff to get to, folks. We got some life stuff that we have to get to. Honestly, I hope everybody out there is doing well. We got some seasonal things that's going on. There's cold weather out there, and just get into the cold weather season. Have the day. Woo! We got a couple people. I see you. We got a couple people with us on the check-in. I appreciate the people that's with us. Like, comment, subscribe, jump in the chat, do what you got to do. SandCity Sports, Four Nations final. We got but I'm just saying, the days are getting longer. Are they not getting longer, folks? It's like 5:30. It's still light outside. That's a beautiful thing. Okay, and I'm thinking, it's like 20 days into January. It's the 20th of February. We're more than 2/3 into February. Is a short month. It's about to be March soon. What? So time is flying. USA. Let's. Hockey is a crazy game. Okay, Canadians are threatening. Get it out of the zone, folks. Under 4 minutes. Canadians threatening a bit, and USA retain. Hockey people let me know, but USA has been on it this third period. USA has been pressing this third period. We've been pressing them the whole period, keeping it in their zone, keeping them. You just got to get this one goal. Shot on ice. And that's where hockey, man, if you're at this game, right, I feel like the people, anyway, if you're watching it, if you got your money, get your money. But just watching this third period, I feel like I'm not even a hockey person. Don't even have the volume on. I can't even hear, you know what I mean? But I'm feeling the energy. We got to get this goal and seal the deal. USA, get it done. Get it done. Okay, 3 minutes and 35 seconds remaining. But yeah, SandCity Sports, a lot. First thing is first. Let's get the W for USA. We can't get past that. But then we're gonna talk some NBA. Then we're gonna talk some. We got a lot of things going on just life-wise. Okay, the days are getting longer. That's the beautiful thing. It's still brick cold out here. We got a little bit of snow. Still brick cold. The wind has died down. Fortunately, wind has died down. Because the wind was We had some. So you don't know when it can come back. Let's get the defense going on. Get defense. Team USA defense. Good. Retain control. Uh-oh. Had a good opportunity just under 3 minutes. Now the Canadians coming back on them. That was a good opportunity. USA got it back? No. USA got it out the zone. Wow. This is the nitty-gritty right now. This is I'm not sweating, but I could be. This is the nitty gritty. Under 3 minutes. Tie game. Third period. Let's go, USA. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it right. Have possession. They just Canadians got it. They just pushed it ahead. Woo! Okay, 2-minute mark. Let's go, USA. Let's get it. Let's get it. Team USA has been in control. Can we get a goal? Down. We're at 2 minutes. I see a line change. Can we? Wow. Okay, folks. You might know if you're watching, but the Four Nations final. Under 2 minutes. Third period. Tie game. Uh-oh, the Canadian. No. Get it out. And it's just back and forth. It's just back and forth down to, anybody's match right now. So a great save for USA. We got a face off in the USA zone. And we will see. But hey, relative back to SandCity, we going. We got about an hour. We with you for an hour and 47. We're gonna go over 2 hours, regardless. We want Team USA to get the victory in regulation, but it might go to OT. If it goes to OT, it is what it is. It is what it is if it goes to OT. But we got some more to discuss. First things we got to discuss how's everybody doing getting through the winter. The winter months, getting through this cold. We got more sunshine, which is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. We got more sunshine that's available to us. And just, we got some slice of life stuff that I want to discuss. Okay. We under a minute now. Under a minute. USA has possession. Under a minute. Canadians now retain possession in their zone. Fast and furious. Hold on. Get it out. Doggone it. These Canadians are threatening. Got it. Don't let them. Oh, get it out of the zone. Get it out of the zone. We under 10 seconds. Look like this game's going. Uh-oh. No. Woo! A save with 5 seconds. This hockey is real, folks. This hockey is not to be trifled with. Canadians got a shot on net. The net was open. Oh my God. Team USA got it on the opposite side. Got it out of there. Miller. Glove save with 5 seconds. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's get it to overtime. Get it to OT. Get it. Okay, we headed to overtime, folks. We headed to overtime in the Garden. So SandCity Sports, we an hour and 49 minutes on the check-in. We're glad to be with you for the Four Nations final. We headed to overtime. Let's get it. USA. Okay, and so yes, indeed, we're gonna come back. We're gonna come back and look at what's going on in terms of hockey on the check-in. A lot of other things that we're gonna touch on. Gonna touch on a couple other things. Indeed. One of the people put, okay, they gave me okay. I see we got some referee things that's going on. Okay, let me just, I gotta I got it. Okay, so we'll get to that. We'll get to that. I enjoy refereeing. I most certainly do. I enjoy the refereeing. We're SandCity Sports right now, but you know what I mean. But I don't want to, you know what I mean. We got referee things that's, you know, that's going on, and I got some. Okay, let me just pull this up. Hold on. Bad production value. I'm sorry, bad production value. But USA is going into overtime, folks. We're going into overtime um, with Canada live from Boston. Live from Boston. SandCity Sports. We're over a minute 50 on a check-in. I'm just pulling up because we got a number of things that we have to get to. And I just want to pull up. We're going to talk, yes, Luka lost to the they lost to, okay, all right. No, that's not what I needed. I needed yes, this is what I needed. Okay. We got to talk Luka. Talk a little bit of MLB in terms of the season getting ready to start. Obviously, Wemby is the big storyline and narrative. Okay, and then we have to. Okay, we got to talk about a little bit of slice of life stuff. We got to talk about a slice of life stuff. SandCity Sports. We got intermission for the hockey. There's no intermission for SandCity Sports. This is by the fans for the fans. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. And I hope everybody out there is doing well. Hope everybody is doing well. But in the Sam Hill, no. We on the hold on. Come back. Because we got a couple things I got to get for you on the screen. As we move and groove, a little bit of production. You know what time it is. Yeah. Okay, you know what time it is. Okay, and let's good. All right, folks. So we're at intermission now. A couple things. This is a little bit difficult, but I wanted to get one thing specifically for you on the screen. Not that. Okay, two things. So let's do the hockey thing first. Let's do the hockey thing first. And come on over here. Because we're doing. Oh, yeah. Hold on. So we're doing well, right? So we set up now, folks. We set up. We had to get a couple things, but now we set up. We going into overtime, right? We going into overtime. Does anybody out there, okay? How do you want that done, bam! This is the energy that we have here, folks. Please win another bear! This guy, please, my man! This is the energy we talking about right now in terms of the Four Nations final. First of all, the love for hockey that I'm seeing here. Second of all, you want to talk about goals? You want to talk about this level of man cave greatness? What? Now, he's Team Canada, Team Maple Leafs. Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is, folks. But this is the energy that we need in overtime for Team USA. I know that Canada has it. He's getting down. Oh, my goodness. You want to talk about the love for Canada? The love for hockey in Canada? The man cave is complete. It's got all the, and he's fired up. Never mind the fact that I didn't recognize he's in uniform, like he's ready to go on the ice right now. He is ready to go on the ice right now. Folks, the energy that you just saw, never mind what went into that man cave. That man cave was next level, just off the charts. All right? Next level off the charts. That is its own, but then just the love for the game and what hockey means, Canada, USA, that spoke to me. Okay, so it's intermission. That's the type of energy that we're gonna have, frankly, on both sides of the line. That's Canadian energy. That's American energy. That's both sides of the line energy. Okay, but Team USA will be victorious. Team USA will be victorious in the Four Nations final. That's all you know. We're gonna get this dub. We're gonna get this dub. Came out and rock'em sock'em dominant. With dominance a little bit harsh. Dominance a little bit harsh, a little bit much. But certainly handled the business in the third quarter. Time of possession, so on and forth. I'm looking. Got a couple things. Okay, all right. This is good. Let me just see here. Da 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 da. Okay. We got to talk a little bit. All right, I'm where I need to be. MLB, we got to discuss a couple things in terms of MLB. They're looking at going to robot umpires. MLB looking at going with robot umpires for spring training, which I think is not a bad thing. You test it out in spring training in real time. No. But possibly replay. I love the idea in MLB. MLB, get this right. We need challenges. We need challenges in Major League Baseball. We need challenges on third strikes. It has to be challenged. That's where MLB could have a huge win. The pitch clock was a huge win. You heard it here, first, second, third, fourth. I don't care where I am on this. It's a fact. MLB needs a challenge for the third strike. Never mind guys getting kicked out of games. Never mind, like if you go to the umpire auditor, which is a great thread on Twitter, umpire auditor. Okay, but we need challenges for third strikes, and that's where this robot ump. We don't need robot umps, and we. I say we like you know what I mean. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jacks. I don't care if I ever get back. Shout out to Ken Burns Baseball because it's root. Ken Burns Baseball. If you love documentaries, then documentaries might not be your cup of tea. But if baseball is your cup of tea and you haven't seen Ken Burns Baseball documentary, which will be up on the screen for you soon, get on it. All right. We're waiting for the Four Nations final overtime to commence. We're talking some couple storylines. I got to get to some of my slice of life stuff so just people can. We're gonna get to some slice of life stuff, but MLB robot umpires, spring training. I'm on board. What we need, baseball needs. It can't go through this year. Get it done next year. Challenge for third strikes. Challenge for third strikes. Challenge for third strikes. Challenge for third strikes. That is an innovation baseball could incorporate. That would be right, because you see it so many times where the third strike is just wrong. It's wrong. It's just wrong. And it would be from a standpoint of right, like if challenge a third strike, if it wasn't a strike, then just credit, like you know what I mean, just credit it So let's say the count was, 2-2, and it was a called third strike, and you challenged it, and it was to just make it a ball, right? It doesn't have to be repetitive. Just make it a ball, and then go forward from there. Okay, so that's a very exciting innovation that I'm looking forward to. I hope everybody out there is doing well, is doing their thing, folks. You know what I mean? I saw this. You know what I mean? You can't take nothing for granted. We're gonna talk a little bit of Luka. You can't take nothing for granted. You know what I mean? And don't ever, when you have a right, you got to always be grateful. This is something that made me have to take a step back and be grateful. And I, you know what I mean? Because we're talking about life day to day. I hope everybody else is, you know what I mean, is doing well. SandCity Sports, we talk life, we talk culture, we talking all of that. We talk all of that, right? And this whole right loneliness, and we feel lonely. I get it sometimes. We all get the blues at times, and we feel, you know what I mean? We just going through it, and we have this social media. We never been more connected, but never been more distant. In right, how are we connected and distant at the same time? Whereas we can talk all 24/7, 365, but we feel lonely. How does that? Right? What do they say? The math ain't mathing, right? And I saw this clip, and it kind of just it gave me a little bit of perspective, and I'm interested. I want to put this. We're going to share this for the people so that they can, because you always have to count your blessings. You always have to just factor in, where you are. And folks, I saw this, and it kind of, I don't know if you've seen this clip, right? But it spoke to me. We're going to have the volume. We need to have the volume on this, and just. This is some mine where the miners are doing what they're doing. And you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That rock is heavy. That rock is heavy. Still falling. Still falling. What? This is, so we're reading this thing. This is some of the caves that are just, twice the height of the tallest building on the world. What? Okay, so we're getting ready for OT. But man, what this just showed me, man, is just be grateful and have gratitude, man. Be grateful and have gratitude, man, and you get to feeling a certain type of a way, and you get to slipping and the dipping, man. We're gonna do this one more time, just you know what I mean. Woo! Right? This gave me an attitude of gratitude. I'm saying, man, that thing. What? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That thing was deep. That made me say, woo. You know what I mean? I say, woo. Let me have that attitude of gratitude, my boy. I'm complaining about this, that, and the third, and you know what I mean. I needed some extra sweet and sour sauce, and I didn't get that with my spicy chicken nuggets, and I'm complaining about all of this stuff that's going on. And man, let me just count my blessings. Let me just be fortunate for what I got. That baby, that was not no tennis, but that rock was heavy. Okay, let's go. USA. We are into OT. USA maintaining possession. Let's get it. Let's get it. May the best team win, and may that team be the US of A. Let's go. Let's start fast and get them. Sudden death. Overtime at the Garden. I want the Garden to be rocking, folks. Let's get the Garden rocking. Let's get a dub. Let's get it. Okay? People are tuned in. Four Nations final. All right? We Democrats, we Republicans, we USA right now. We USA right now. Okay? Let's stand on that. Let's stand on USA and get the dub. All right? We can have our political opinions, our religious belief. We have all of that, okay? But let's pull together. Let's have common ground where we can have common ground. Four Nations final, overtime in Boston. Okay, the Canadians crawl. They threatening. Let's get it out. No. Let's get it out of the zone. Let's start right. Nothing like overtime. Okay, it's not the critic that counts. It's the man that's in the arena. Okay, USA. Let's get possession. Let's get possession and get it out of the zone. Okay. Puck is over on the Canadian side. They're advancing. Okay, putting the pressure on him. It's coming up through the ice. All right, USA got possession. Good. In the zone. Let's go. Good shot on goal. Threatening. Okay. The referee got to, the referee got to get out of the way. Garden is rocking. Come on, USA. See, I can't. I'm not hockey people. You know that. I just, when the fans go crazy, that's when I go crazy. I can't see. When the fans go nuts, that's when I go nuts. Come on. Canadians. Get it out of there. Oh, no. Come on. Oh, he's threatening. Come on. Okay, got it out of the zone. Woo, it's only 2 minutes. It's only 2 minutes in the OT, folks. It's only 2. Ooh, I'm feeling some type of way. Come on. Four Nations final, live from Beantown. I appreciate those that's rocking with me on the check-in. We 2 hours into the check-in on SandCity Sports here. And we might have to go 3. We might have to go 3. It is what it is. You know, we got what's going on. Okay, I appreciate that on the Facebook. We in the overtime. Plus, we got N.B.A. going on. We talked a little bit about slice of life that's going on. Canada's got it in the USA zone. Got to get it out of the zone. Okay, so we're going to see. We're going to see where this goes. We need a victory. That would be great for the USA. That'd be great for Boston. That'd be great for the Commonwealth. Let's turn up in Boston. Let's turn up in Boston and get this dub. I see the people that's rocking with me on the check-in. I see y'all. YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, jump in the chat. I can see the chat here on Riverside. Let me know what you think. Come on. Canadians are trying. We got to get it out of the zone. Good. Team USA got the puck, moving it up the ice. Threatening, attacking. Excuse me. So let me know what you think. We live, overtime, sudden death. Close one. I see the fans came up. Close. USA threatening. 2 good opportunities. The fans jumped up, but we didn't see, because I know if and when USA scores, it's gonna be madness. We might have to turn the volume on. You know what I mean? I think we'll have to turn the volume on so you can hear if and when we get this dub, because the Guard's gonna go bananas. Let's get the Garden rocking. Uh-oh. Damn it. These Canadians. Woo! This, oh my goodness. It hasn't even been 4 minutes in overtime. And it feels like more than the third. I don't know if that's just me. This OT is real. I'm in. This OT is crazy. Okay. So obviously you can see it. I can see it. I'm going to stop. I'm doing play by play, but you can obviously just watch the game. I think you're feeling the same way that I'm feeling. But just nicked the USA had a great opportunity. Then the Canadians. This is wild. Face off in the Canadian zone. Garden is on edge. Four Nations final. It's been a great match. Just in terms of hockey, and we are 4 minutes into overtime. Feels like 40 minutes. And we'll just woo. I can't be at a loss for words because we're doing a live podcast, so I have to find the words. And the words are USA all the way. And it's just been back and forth. Both teams have kind of had their opportunities. And we're going to keep an eye on this. I see the people that's out there with us on the check-in. SandCity Sports, by the fans, for the fans. Appreciate you most definitely. I'm just waiting for the Garden to erupt. A couple saves. I'm waiting, hoping for USA to get this dub. And we're going to go from there. We are most certainly going to go from there. We're going to stay in the world of hockey. Not my first sport, my first proficiency. But still, hey, you go where the action is. And the action is right in Boston. Four Nations final. USA, Canada, 2-2 tie in overtime. 4 minutes and 30 seconds in. Both teams have had opportunities. And it's just rock'em sock'em. It's just rock'em sock'em. This is a game, you're doing it for the motherland. You're doing it for your country, your brothers, in arms, so to speak, your fellow countrymen. And it's been a great match. Obviously, the first matchup in Canada set the stage. Okay. Battling, just getting after it. USA won 4-1. This game has been close throughout. So 5 minutes in, keeping an eye on it. Can't take my eyes off it, frankly. You feel like you're going to miss, the golden goal, so to speak. But great competition, great action. And we shall see. Nothing like live sports. So it's in the balance. The opportunity is there. You gotta grab hold. What did Jimmy Dugan say? He said if it wasn't hard, everybody would do it. If it wasn't hard, everybody would do it. The hard is what makes it great. Hard is what makes it great. And these two teams are going down that hard road, to get this victory. And that's what you'll appreciate. There's only two things in sports. Pat Riley is winning and misery. So you want to be on certainly on the winning side of that coin. But both teams have put themselves in a position to do something special. Okay, let's get the dub, USA. Let's not Canada's threatening. Okay, about 6 minutes elapsed in OT. Both teams had opportunities, and it's just, speaking of hockey and the beautiful game, I mean, this is crazy. It's wild. I feel I'm almost out of breath, and I'm not even playing. I don't even know that much about the sport, but just, hockey overtime. We talked about it. This has a playoff Game 7 feel to it. It's just electric. And I'm holding out hope right now. Want USA to pull it off. As I said, we put the politics aside. We put the different viewpoints and, ways of looking at things, who you voted for, who you didn't vote for. what policy you support, what policy you don't support. We talk about that Friday morning. We can get back to that on Friday. Okay. Right now, Americans, Team USA, let's get the job done. Let's get this done. In Boston, right? Right? First to freedom and all that stuff. Center of Americana. Let's do it for Team USA. Let's get this victory. Let's get the victory first. And then we'll return to our national conversations bright and early. I see the people out there with me on the check-in. I see somebody jumped into the chat. Appreciate that. Let me know. I got a year on the chat. Not sure what you're affirming, but I appreciate it. Hopefully you're affirming Team USA all the way. Let's get it. Canadians threatening. Get them out of there. Get it out of the zone. Good. Good defense. Woo! We got people that's checking in with us. I see you guys out there. SandCity Sports, by the fans, for the fans, Four Nations Final, live from Beantown. With everybody, we're rapt attention. I'm waiting to celebrate. I'm waiting to celebrate the Team USA victory. If we lose, hey, it is what it is. Okay, it is what it is. May the best man win. But this episode is all about a Team USA celebration. Four Nations Final live right now in Boston. Just over, 8 minutes and change gone in overtime. I wonder, does it go to what? Does it, you know what I mean? Come on. Oh, no. Damn. Man. That hurts. Ain't gonna act like it doesn't hurt. It hurts. Say what you say, you're not a hockey person. I'm not. But I'm still hurt. Garden is clearing out. Right? Right? You're happy, it's happy for him, all that stuff, but it hurts. Would have been great to get this. Went for the glove save. Guy had it point blank. A second ahead. It's just a great play. Point blank, he had it. There's almost nothing you can do. Well, he's right in front of the net and he just has it. Had the time. That was just a good possession. Yeah, see, It's tough. It's tough. Like I said, and you say, oh, what? You know what I mean? I said it, I meant it. You know what I mean? Do I know a tremendous amount about hockey? No. Am I ingrained in the culture? No. Do I have a ton of friends that play hockey? No. Do I love and appreciate, follow, study sports? Yes. Do I recognize this game in Boston meant a tremendous amount? Yes. Would it have been great to be on the back of the bandwagon as people celebrated. Hockey fans first and foremost, right? It would have been great to celebrate, you know. Um, so, like I said, Pat Riley, there's two things in sports: there's winning and there's misery. USA is on the latter end tonight. You know, you shake hands. You shake hands at the end of the match, which again, in terms of hockey, when it's over, that's just an amazing thing about the sport. These guys fight, punch each other in the face, and shake hands at the end of the match. So they get that right. Hockey gets that right. Firm handshake. You know, so the sportsmanship side of it that I'm seeing, as dejected as I am from a distance, you know, because this did, you know, it would have been great. Would have been great for Boston, obviously nationally, you know, great for the Commonwealth. Um, so it's a downer. It is a tough loss for all the aforementioned reasons. Um, but you know, I'm thrilled that hockey got the exposure. You know, people were tuned in, locked in, you know, giving the sport the attention it deserves, learning about the sport. So Canada takes this. They won the last two Winter Olympics over the United States. So USA needs to get on the board. This was a, you know, just a lot of opportunities. You know, hockey is, you can just, man, it's just split second. So that's what I saw. I saw in overtime, both teams had, you know, USA had some shots on goal. Canadians had some shots on goal. They were threatening, you know, in the zone. And they just got, you know, it's just that setup was near perfect, you know. Gentleman, he was right in front of the net, just had it clear. Goalie can only, you know, he's got it right there. It was just a second late. And that is all she wrote. So, not the ending that we had wanted on SandCity Sports, but this is what we have to work with. Start to finish, it was great. You know, heart goes out for the the true blue diehard hockey fans out there, because you right. If it's not hard, everyone's gonna do it. So you set out to climb that mountain, to reach that goal. You intend to get there, to get to the zenith. And when you fall short, you know, it hurts like nothing else. So is that Marty Walsh? Marty. What's Marty Walsh doing out there? Marty's got a connection to the NHL. Having this game, this matchup in Boston. I'm sure Marty had something to do with that. And yeah, the Canadians, they travel. See a lot of Canadians there in the garden. A lot of folks just hit we're ready to leave. So hockey people, man, you just get used to being on the ice. You're on the ice on skates. You're on the ice in shoes. You're just comfortable with being on the ice. It's another thing, man. Hockey guys, I need to get into hockey more. You can just see these guys are. You focus more on some of the secondary things of the game. These some big dudes. These are some skilled athletes. And again, for as much as you focus on like the battling, hockey culture, again, it's we're gonna get out of here in a couple minutes, right? The energy is going down. It's tough loss, so on and forth. But I do want to hammer home, just coming from a different tradition and culture. Basketball tradition is basketball tradition and culture. Hockey tradition is hockey tradition and culture. The game, both sports are played in the winter. Um, you know, there's not tremendous overlap between the fans. But as far as I'm concerned, there's respect coming from me and people I know, between the fan bases, and it's, you know, they're different games. And again, we might not see things the same way politically. We might not, you know, agree on every single issue when it comes down to it. And that's fine. That's how I feel about it. If anybody else wants to feel a certain type of a way and all the rest of that stuff, then they can do that. You do you. I'm doing me. I'm coming at this from a standpoint of respect and appreciation and learning. And I'm seeing a decorum in hockey. The handshakes, and the format. I'm seeing a formality in the game that I can get down with. And a brotherhood. Um, that I can appreciate And like I said, you know, that's good. And as you know, hockey is kind of, it's its own thing. It's certainly grown. You got hockey played in warmer and regions of the country, and so on and forth. Uh, this is hard. For the Americans. You got to give them the awards, and it's on your home turf. Uh, but as I watch, we're watching the handshake here. Garden certainly emptied out. People bounced. Um, it's dignified is the word that I'm going to use, which is to be applauded. Hurts, I can imagine. Right? We would have wanted to give these medals to the USA team in Boston. Can't do that. So it's a big downer. And again, I know, right? It's a different thing. Obviously there's money in sports, but I know hockey people. It hurts. City of Boston, all the different establishments. You want to celebrate, and you can't. You gotta. You don't hang your head, but this would have been a great night in Boston to have won this. Uh, you know, but to the victor goes the spoils. Shout out to Team Canada. Overtime thriller. Both teams had their chances. And tonight, the Canadians were the better squad. And so they take home the Four Nations championship. But hey, I'm looking forward to the continuation of this. Do we need to have 3 fights in the first 10 minutes? Maybe, maybe not. But the attention, the interest, the enthusiasm surrounding it, all that, I hope continues. And I'm pulling for Team USA to get the next victory. Hopefully, it's here in Boston. And to build from there. Okay, folks, I'm your host, the Cape Cod Kid, artist formerly known as Andre King. 2 hours and 30 minutes on this episode of SandCity Sports Four Nations Finals. It was rock'em sock'em. Okay, did not get the result we wanted, but learned a lot. A lot to appreciate. Outstanding contest. As we say again, Team Canada came out victorious. Tip my hat to you. You were the better team tonight. USA is going to be back. USA all the way to get a successive championship. Another championship, most definitely. Okay, thank you for tuning in to SandCity Sports, and we will see you again the next time.